Here we go. It's the big one today. I put a tweet out today that I thought was quite funny. I don't know if any of them saw it from the other end of the motorway. Yeah, I tweeted out this morning that today's the real big one. We played Liverpool the last 2 weeks. There might be a big rival of ours, but I tweeted out that this is the big game between the two biggest clubs in the country today. And if anybody's ever been to the Emirates Stadium, which I'm sure a lot of you have, I think it's absolutely fantastic stadium, and it gives me the feel of a big club. And the fact that I can't go there today because of this COVID situation, well, I can't tell you how I feel about it. I'm absolutely devastated. I've not missed United playing at the Emirates, but well, I might have missed it once perhaps since they moved to the Emirates. I go every time. I love it down there. It's brilliant. It's a fantastic stadium. So it's a massive game for us. We need the 3 points. Whoever we play, we need the 3 points. Disaster against Sheffield United. Absolute disaster. Didn't see that coming. I really didn't see it coming. And I think we spoke on the night about this. There was too many forwards in the team. There really was, and I seen people on Twitter saying to me, saying they're getting back. It isn't the point that they get back. It is about getting back, but it's about not having to chase back. It's about us keeping the pressure on them. It's so hard to actually describe to people that you've got a midfield four that helps you to keep the ball and helps you to keep pressure on the opposition. And when your two wide men are playing just on average a bit too far up, a bit further up, it's more difficult to keep the ball in the midfield and more difficult to keep the pressure on the opposition. And I just honestly believe that Marcus and Mason are actual strikers playing on the wing, and they've got such an attacking instinct. And somebody said to us on the night, by the way, I can't remember who it was now, but somebody said to us on the night, attack, attack, attack. It's Sheffield United. And I said there and then before the ball was kicked on Wednesday night, we'll attack better if we've got more midfield players and less strikers. Because you've got more strikers on the field, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to attack more. They don't keep the ball for long. The strikers, when you get it to them, it's the midfield players and the defenders who keep the pressure on, keep you on the ball, and keep your team attacking. As strange as it sounds, your attackers are there to get on the end of things. They're not the ones that keep you attacking. They don't keep hold of the ball for very long. Think about it. You give the ball to a winger, how long does he keep that ball? Because he's got that ball, it doesn't mean you're attacking for very long. It's not often they keep it for more than 3 or 4 seconds, is it? So what? I don't get that meaning. You've got more attackers, so you attack more. Not necessarily. You've probably got more defending to do if you've got too many attackers, because they're getting the ball so easily.
A leaked team coming through on
a leaked team.
Yeah. Nathan Bibby put the 11 in: De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Cavani.
Yeah, I've only got 2 newspaper teams in front of me, and that's the exact team that the Manchester Evening News have gone with, and the exact team that the Independent have gone with. So it wouldn't surprise me if that is it, but it should be out any second, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be. Torment. Ricky, do you remember when I was so mad last week with the team?
Torment, absolutely bang on you was, mate. Absolutely bang on.
I imagine in '99 we played all 4 of York, Cole, Teddy and Ollie.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent when playing Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno and Marshall. Yeah.
You're very, very close to being bang on. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. How would you fit them in a team? We fit them in a team by putting Greenwood on the right, we put Rashford on the left. We put Martial at number 9 and Bruno at number 10. So Teddy and Dwight were both number 10s for me. Ollie could play on the wing. You couldn't really fit them in, could you? Them 4, because none of them really would play wide. But then again, like you say, I suppose you're angling at that, Tom. And really, Mason and Mason doesn't really play on the wing, does he?
So it'll bang on what they've gone with.
Does it?
So the team's out. De Gea, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, Fred and McTominay, Bruno, and then Cavani and Rashford.
And Pogba.
Cavani, Rashford and Pogba. So
You got the bench there as well.
Bench here, Henderson, Tellez, Baylor, Twanzebe, James, Matic, Van der Beek, Greenwood and Marshall.
Right. Okay.
So the shape of that is going to be what?
Pogba and Rashford on the flanks, isn't it? Bruno Pogba at 10 and Cavani at 9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know, because I don't know what to say. It's going to be it's a tiny little bit better perhaps than the other night. At least you've got two proper midfield players in there. Who did we have in midfield the other night? We had Pogba and Matic, didn't we? So Pogba was shoved out to the wing. McTominay and Fred. I always say we need 2 of the 3 of them. We've gone back to that, haven't we? 2 of the 3 of them. Pogba on one flank, Rashford on the other. The other night we had Rashford and Greenwood on the flank, so at least Pogba's going to do a bit more diligent defensively, I think, than Greenwood.
Going to wake up to Rashford?
I don't know.
He's got a nod over Marshall.
I know.
I can't. I don't know what is going on in the world of football.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
It's all so superficial. Do you know what I mean? There's no consideration for the qualitative. It's all quantitative. Do you know what I mean? It's just. It's infuriating, is what it is.
Absolutely infuriating. But we've got to live with it, haven't we? Rashford's playing. He is capable, and he might do it, and everyone will say, he might just go on a worldy run and smash one in the top corner, and everyone will say, "I told you so." But I'd sooner have someone there who gets it under control properly and passes it properly, and I'm sure Cavani would. Look, you never know, but I would predict that Cavani's going to have a frustrating afternoon. I really would think Cavani's going to have a frustrating afternoon. Let's have a look at Arsenal's lineup. Mata and Marshall are both on our bench, aren't they? I don't know why I'm asking about Mata, really. Van der Beek, obviously, yeah?
Van der Beek on the bench, yeah. So Leno in goal, Bellerin and Cedric at full-back, Holding and Louise at centre-half. And then Partey and Xhaka, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Martinelli and Lacazette.
I like to look at Smith Rowe, what I've seen of him.
Yeah.
Partey and Xhaka in the middle of the field, pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be very
interesting. Going back to what Torman was talking about there, if the treble team would have picked all 4 of our attacking players, I suppose Teddy. It's just mad. It just wouldn't fit, would it? But I suppose it's just crazy these days. Dwight would have to play on the wing, wouldn't he? Teddy at number 9 and Solskjaer on one wing and Cole on the other.
Obviously, there's a few in the group there. Jabra, Rick, all your faves at bench. Golden Axe, you'd pick Marshall, no chance, or to Tripe at the moment. Simon Wright, Marshall, he's playing really badly. It's really difficult to try and
explain how it works.
It sounds condescending, doesn't it, when you say explain? But there really is more to it than just looking at the outcomes. You know what I mean? Causation.
Outcome bias, it's called. Outcome bias.
Yeah.
He's got a few goals, and you think that's that. But the other night, Rashford was terrible. Marshall was getting hold of the ball. I've done two threads today on Twitter showing the amount of runs and the amount of poor passes that were aimed at Marshall and didn't go anywhere near him. People were saying he was terrible. I did the show. The show's gone up this morning, or this just about lunchtime. I think today the show went up. Me talking about basically the disastrous passing towards Marshall and the lack of service. When you say service, people often sort of think that you mean, oh, he's going to be standing in the box waiting for you to create chances for him. I don't mean service in that respect. I'm talking about one situation where he's running the channel and it's a dead easy ball to 2 situations where he's running once the inside right channel, once the inside left channel. The passes to him are just getting cut out far too easily, and it's just time and time again. And then he was involved in a really good move. Anyone who's watching, who obviously watched the game the other night, quite late on, where Rashford should have drilled it across the 6-yard box. Marshall's actually integral in building that play up and getting us into that situation. And then Marcus has got to fire the ball across the 6-yard box, and he cuts it back. doesn't really cut it back. It's just a pathetic little roll back with nobody there apart from their players, and we've got 4 players lined up along the 6-yard line. Marshall's made that opportunity with his pass to Wan-Bissaka, which has opened the space up. Wan-Bissaka's rolled it in front of Rashford, and I'm telling you, look, I've watched it time and time again. Marshall played okay. Bruno was terrible. Rashford was terrible. Marshall was perfectly fine, absolutely fine, and most of the obviously there's 1 or 2 things go wrong for him, but there's loads of things going wrong for the other players, loads of things. Most of the things that go wrong for Marshall are not his fault. They are literally poor passes, poor decisions, and just lots and lots of things go wrong that is down to the other players when he's making the correct run. And he played perfectly fine the other night, and virtually nobody else did, and he's the one who gets dropped, and I'm stunned. Well, I'm not stunned. I'm saying I'm stunned. I'm sort of stunned because I'm gutted. I'm stunned in that respect, but I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I'm really not.
It's a super chat from A. Fans have threatened Marshall, his wife and his child's life if he doesn't leave Manchester. Constant abuse to him and his wife. Disgusting.
I don't want to hear that. I'm sorry you've read that out.
I'm sorry, someone's sort of put a super chat up, and it's horrendous. And it's so misguided. Yeah. It's so misguided. Yeah. People just aren't appreciating what constitutes a good footballer. No. You're not looking at the actual substance, the underlying substance of a footballer. You're looking at a superficial level. Yeah. What's the outcome, the goals, the assists? It's superficial. You've got to look at the underlying fundamentals of the footballers. Yeah. That's what you've got to do. And when you do that, at the moment, there's far too many players in our team who are substandard, fundamentally substandard. And there's an inability amongst the footballing community to be able to identify which players are falling short fundamentally. Yeah.
Not controlling it well enough, not passing it well enough, not crossing it well enough, not making the right option often enough. Marshall does, apart from the crossing bit, because he doesn't get wide enough or doesn't look to cross it very often, but apart from the crossing bit, he does all of those things better than everybody else. All of them. I'm absolutely devastated for the lad. Yeah. Devastated.
So am I. Yeah.
I hope he goes on and wins the European Cup with somebody else.
It's kind of what the fan base deserves. Do you know what I mean? If you're not going to take the time to appreciate the players of real quality, you're going to just spend your life lost in the fog, not knowing which direction to go in. Yeah. If you don't
but the staff are the same.
The staff have got the same issue.
The same. The staff don't understand.
We're spending fortunes on players and churning them over. Churning them over and not recognising the
not recognising right, we've got that position sorted now.
You've let Lukaku go for 80 million quid and then replaced him with Cavani. It took you a year to do it, and you've just you tried to replace him with a Rashford and a Greenwood. It ain't gonna work. They're not good enough. They're just not good enough. And then you realise they're not good enough.
So then you go and get another 34-year-old.
Cavani in, yeah. It's painful to watch.
It's absolutely painful.
Golden Axe, come on lads, Cavani is better than Marshall in all areas.
Yeah, but Marshall should be on the left wing. Marshall's got to be on the left wing.
It may well
by
be.
a million miles.
You might be lucky if you're comparing Rashford and Cavani, who's our best option at number 9. It probably is Cavani. Cavani probably is a better number 9. So then Marshall's available. Look on the left-hand side of midfield, who have you got as your best option? It's Marshall by a million miles. He's just the most competent footballer fundamentally. Yeah. The control, the quality of his pass, the weight of his pass, the choice of his pass, his reading of the ebb and flow of the game, when to release the ball, when to hold it.
When to run with it.
He's just
when to turn back.
He's in tune with the flow of the match.
Absolutely in tune. He's a footballer. He's a proper footballer.
And then you get all of this. Rip the Red USA, someone put Rashford scores more goals and gets more assists. That is exactly the problem. That's superficial. You're looking at the outcomes.
Yeah, we need better outcomes long term. We need better outcomes for the team. It doesn't matter which individual. I've said it till I'm blue in the face.
Like, the fanfare behind the players like Rashford. You've seen it it wasn't long ago, we were having this same conversation about Lingard. It was Lingard who was keeping
Matter out the team.
Lingard was keeping Matter out the team. Look where Lingard is now.
Yeah.
Lingard's going to go to West Ham. He's not going to get games.
Not going to get games. They're all talking about Lingard getting games. He's going to West Ham to get games. He's not going to get game time.
No, he might get games initially.
Yeah.
There might be an initial, we need to try and get him in, but there might not be, but there could be. But if there is, it won't be long before they realise that he's a weak link in their team and he needs to come out.
Yeah.
And I said this on the fan cam last week. I'm sorry, people aren't going to like it. The same thing would go on with Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
If Marcus Rashford left Man United, and the same thing for Greenwood, you look... He's not going to go into West Ham's team and take Mikel's place.
No chance.
No chance whatsoever.
Not going to take
Mikel
Bowen's
does a
place
job,
on the right
and
wing.
He's not going to take
Natural
Bowen's
right winger, a proper player.
Yeah.
Just
it's
a
not
proper...
going to happen.
Yeah.
It isn't going to happen. If you look up and down the league, the teams who are supposed to be inferior to us have got better players than we've got in our wide positions.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to go to these teams and command a place. So what are they doing playing for us? What are you persevering for? We've done it with Lingard for a long period. He's ended up having to leave. You should have realised earlier.
Should have realised that
and
6 years
the same
ago.
thing is going on with
5
Rashford
years
now.
ago.
But superficially, it's too easy for a player in an attacking position if he's just putting up some assists and goals.
Yeah, yeah. You never hear anybody say, "Oh, our right back made 12 tackles more than any other right back last year." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just pathetic. It is pathetic.
Mr. Fister, that Jared Bowen is a top quality player. Red Devil, you don't know this, blindly backing up your agendas. I don't know.
What agenda? I see if he'll put it in. What agenda? What agenda do you think we've got? What agenda could I possibly have to trying to point out to as many people as I can point it out to that Anthony Martial is a far superior player to Marcus Rashford? Marcus is from Manchester. I know a lot of people. I'm from Manchester. I'm from Wythenshawe. Marcus Rashford's from Wythenshawe. I want Marcus Rashford to be Pele, but I'm sorry he isn't. So what agenda have I possibly got? Please answer in the comments. What agenda could I possibly have for pointing out how much better Anthony Martial is than Marcus Rashford? I don't know him. I'm not his agent. I'm not related to him in any way, shape or form. I don't get it. I heard all this agenda, backing up your agendas. I like the players who can get hold of the ball and pass it, and we need all our players to do that. If all our players get it under control well and pass it well and move with it well and make the right options, bit by bit, the goal scoring tally will go up, the results will get better still, and it doesn't matter. Once you're all playing like that, the goals will be spread around, and it doesn't matter who scores them.
There's a super chat here from Kieran Gruden. The kid influences you too much. Very clear now. 33% pass accuracy. I used to love him, but he's utterly abysmal now. I'm not sure if Kieran's talking about... Is he talking about Rashford or Martial there?
I can't see Martial having a 33%
I'm just looking at it now
accuracy.
against Sheffield United. He had a 90% pass accuracy.
Who did? Martial?
Martial did, yeah.
I don't think anybody could have had a 33%
Surely
pass
not.
accuracy.
Surely not, so I don't know where that's coming from.
I think Bruno might have had a 40 or 50% pass accuracy, but I don't think it'd be less than 50.
No, I don't think so.
Less than 50 is horrendous.
Bruno. Passing. 80%.
Yeah.
Rashford and Bruno both around 80%, Martial around 90%. I don't know where that's come from. It is people talking about Martial though. That's what Kieran's talking about, and it's just not true.
Yeah. I'm just stunned. I'm absolutely stunned.
Ricky, would you take Ollie's job?
I'd love to take his job. We would absolutely fly. The type of football we would play would stun you. We would absolutely knock it around for fun. We would knock it around for fun.
15's clips, put someone here. Ricky responded it. I think you have a great football knowledge, but it's just that you keep saying Bruno is crap and never show one single good clip of him. You must show good clips of McTominay.
Look, most of the clips that I show of Bruno, look, let's be honest. Let's get our cards on the table. Oh, look, you cannot play for Manchester United without being able to do something right. This applies to all of them. We've just been speaking about Jesse. Never been a fan of Jesse's on his way to West Ham. He scored. I think he scored in 2 different cup finals, and one of them was an absolute cracker. Or did he score in 1 cup final? But he certainly scored a cracker at Wembley in a cup final. You can't play for Manchester United without having some sort of ability, some sort of skill, and just being an half decent footballer. But we need players who are going to play well more regularly, do the simple things right more regularly, and not rely on the odd super goal or the odd super assist. That's not the way forward if someone is going to play too poorly too often, even if he gets a goal. I mean, look, we're in this crazy world where I must have seen this a dozen times, more than a dozen times. Someone has an absolute stinker and scores the only goal of the game, and they give him man of the match. And probably 90% of the viewing public think, oh, he's man of the match because he's, they're not saying because he scored a goal. They're saying, oh, he is man of the match. I'm saying it's because he scored a goal. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And that adds up. Which somebody's just been talking about Marcus. He's been scoring goals. So, obviously most of them goals come in ones. I know he's got two. He's got an hat-trick against Leipzig. They generally come in ones. More than half of them will be in singles. In some of them games where he got 1 goal, he'll have got man of the match just because he scored a goal. On another day, that chance falls to somebody else, and he might score a cracking goal one day, of course. But it's just not what you should be looking at to reward somebody with man of the match. It's a joke. What chances your right back or your left back, or your centre-back or your CDM have got of getting a Man of the Match award when all it's about to all the idiots on the telly about who scores the goals? And then that leads into all this. After 14 or 18 games, somebody's scored 7 goals. So not only is he Man of the Match, but because he scored 7 or 8 goals, he's now our best player as well. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Just back to Kieran, he's super chat up again, Kieran, who brought up the 33%. He put that he was talking about Martial. No one backs him. We know this sport. The 33% thing.
Well, 33%. We'll see. Will he answer that? What 33% from where? In what game?
I'm not sure where that stats from. If you can answer, Kieran, let us know where that stats from. So on the United application, it says that the official United application, it says he has 90% pass accuracy. So I don't know where that.
In that game, in the Sheffield
United game, yeah.
90%. That doesn't surprise me. 90% pass accuracy is pretty tasty, by the way.
Christian Charleroi, the best example of a proper team is Bayern Munich. They don't have any flamboyant players, and all their players can score. It's all about the system, not a specific players that scores in the system.
Yeah, Anthony Martial would fit into that team. I don't think Bruno would, and I'm certain Rashford wouldn't.
Yeah. Prodigy King, Rick, I know you're a big fan of Louis van Gaal. How come Van Gaal was the one who brought him though the team and played him in the Premier Europa League?
Who bought Martial?
Yeah.
No, it's not surprising, is it? I liked Louis van Gaal. When Anthony Martial came on the pitch, obviously I knew we'd signed him. Didn't know who he was. I did not have a single solitary clue who he was. Didn't know what to expect. And they brought him on as a sub against Liverpool. Just after Liverpool had got back in the game, if I remember rightly. It had just gone 2-1 and it was a bit edgy. Martial came on and ran past 2 players and killed it in the far corner. And I thought, wow, what a start. And I've not been disappointed with him since.
This is another Red Devil. Ricky, what do you celebrate? What do you celebrate more, pass accuracy or goals? Well, first of all, you've got to be able to distinguish between different goals. If United get an own goal, you're not celebrating. Obviously, if it matters to your success as a team, obviously you're celebrating it, but it's not what you're trying to promote, is it? So it's not all just about goals. There are different types of goals and how you create goals, and there's also different types of football. If
you celebrate goals more than you celebrate pass accuracy. That's what he's asking the question for. That's what he wants us to answer. Obviously, you do. You don't celebrate pass accuracy. You don't jump up and down, do you? You don't jump up and down to pass accuracy. You jump up and down when you get the goals. But I would prefer us to get the goals through our pass accuracy, and we're not getting goals because of our pass accuracy in general. in general. Not because, it's not often we're stringing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 passes that's resulting in a square ball across the box, which it could have done the other night. One of the clips that I've put on Twitter today is the one where there's 7 or 8 passes, including a couple of the passes by Martial, and we end up getting Rashford into the dead ball line, which City strive to do time after time after time, and it's they get Walker in behind, or they get De Bruyne in behind somewhere near the dead ball line, and they thrash that ball across the 6-yard line. And we got Rashford into that same situation the other night after numerous passes, and Rashford didn't thrash it across the 6-yard box. He did something else, pulled it back, and there was nobody there, and we've got 4 men attacking the 6-yard box. It was an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace, nothing else. And that goal, I would have celebrated like mad if we'd have got a goal from that. If he'd have thrashed that ball across the 6-yard box, like De Bruyne would have done, like Walker would have done. Even on the other side, they sometimes get that Mendy on the overlap. He thrashes it across the 6-yard line.
And as you Red Devil again now, that's that question about would you celebrate more goals or passes? And then Red Devil has put, we can't keep it simple because our players that play all the time aren't good enough. And that is the issue here, isn't it? That's the issue, that we're picking the wrong players.
That's a sensible shout. Yeah. It is a sensible shout.
If you don't like Bruno, who would you replace him with in our team?
I'd love to see Van der Beek get a run there. I really would. I'd love to see him get a run there. He looks after the ball well. Really well. Yeah. He looked the part when he come on as a sub the other day for 8 minutes again. Twice he won the ball back in their box, didn't he? Near the front post.
Yeah. Torman, this goals and assist obsession is a joke. Bruno is basically the human spreadsheet. Yeah. He plays like he's constantly in the final minute of extra time. Yeah.
Have a look at the tweets that I've put out today. I've put loads of tweets out about Martial trying to get in the box, the ball not coming to him, making runs down the channel, the ball not coming to him. There's 2 on there where Martial gives the ball to... well, on one occasion he gives it to Matic, who gives it to Bruno. On the other occasion, Martial gives it to Bruno. Bruno's on the left wing on both occasions with Telles overlapping him. And Martial is timing his run to get into the box as Telles crosses it, even though Bruno's got the ball. It's just a natural ebb and flow of the game that Bruno should give it to Telles on his left for Telles to cross it. And that extra few seconds that takes, Martial's timing his run to be in the box for Telles' cross. But on both occasions, Bruno elects to put the ball in the box. And Bruno puts the ball in the box from a more difficult angle where you're going to have a less percentage chance of getting something out of it. So not only does he put the ball in from a poorer angle, but by putting it in straight away, instead of that one more pass, Martial hasn't made it into the box. Now, a lot of people will probably be saying, why isn't Martial in the box? Martial's just been involved in the build-up play. He's been involved in the build-up play. On one occasion, he's given the ball to Bruno himself. On another occasion, he's given it to Matic, who give it to Bruno, and starts making his way towards the box. Now he's waiting for that ball to go to Telles so that he can time his run as the cross comes over. But Bruno just puts it in the box straight away. Martial's just can't get there. There's no chance of him getting there.
Casimo Di Medici. City are playing Sheffield United now. Don't know how it's only 1-0. Not seeing Sheffield United get out of their own half.
Well, how long's gone in that game? Time is it now?
Is it over that now?
It's a 3 o'clock kick-off, isn't it, that? Sheffield United are unbelievable defensively, aren't they? Yeah. When you think they're bottom of the league, they haven't let many goals in. Just tell me the time. Time is it?
5 to 5.
Oh, it's definitely over. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off.
Finish 1-0.
Is it 5 to 5? Is it now? Ours is an 5:30 kick-off. We better have two more questions if there is 2 there to read out. 2 more.
Have a look. People asking questions about did you watch Ahmad? Ricky, did you watch Ahmad Diallo score a brace today?
I didn't. Fantastic. I heard he was good. I will have a look at the goals later, definitely.
Also, could I kindly ask that you analyse Ahmad's game? Really want to see what you think of him.
will I be able to get coverage of that? I'm not sure if I get it all. Yeah, it'll probably be shown as live again on MUTV.
Yeah.
If it's shown as live again on MUTV, I'll record it and I will do it. Last one or one more?
Ricky, you hate that Pogba keeps starting on the right. I want him and Fred in the midfield. What do you think from Nico?
My favourite pairing, I've said loads of times, is Matt Tomany. And I'd like to see Matt Tomany and Matic. And a lot of people jump on me and say, "Oh, they started in Leipzig." They started in Leipzig with nobody on the wings. We had a back five and we had three up top. It was a disgrace what happened in Leipzig, an absolute disgrace. And we got battered and we got overrun in midfield. And we would have got overrun in midfield that day if our two midfield players were Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira. Never mind McTominay and Matic. So I would like to see McTominay and Matic get a run as the central pairing, so long as there's two proper wide players. Today it's Pogba and Rashford. Don't mind Pogba playing there. And I think I'd rather have Martial on the other side. I'd love to see McTominay and Matic as a central midfield pairing, but with Pogba and Martial on the flanks, not just playing in midfield on their own, because they're bound to get overrun. Will that do?
Yeah, there's one from Rowan. Let Rick settle this. Pep, Cruyff or Van Gaal? Who's the better manager?
Van Gaal, without a doubt. No, I'm joking. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'm probably going to go Johan Cruyff. I was a massive fan of Johan Cruyff as a player. I loved him to death.
I think they all follow a very similar philosophy.
Yeah, it's a very similar philosophy, isn't it? Yeah, very similar. I think... well, Pep is a disciple of Johan Cruyff, isn't he? Without a doubt. Right, okay.
Quick score prediction before we go.
Quick score prediction. I will go for I think there might be a few goals today. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. There's one more here.
Go on.
Just to finish on. Suya Shete. Ricky, your all-time favourite forward, midfield and defender. United or non-United?
Wow, United or non-United?
Well, he's actually put United and non-United, one of each. If you just go with United, it's hard, isn't it? Just go with the one of each for United. Favourite forward, favourite midfielder, favourite defender.
I'll go... Look, these are coming off the top of my head, and I'm sure people could put suggestions through that would easily compete, well, maybe not easily, but compete with some of these players. I would go with Yapstam for the defender. I would go with... I'd like to say Bobby Charlton, but Keano's a lot. Look, let's just do it Premier League years, because most people who are watching, hardly anybody who ever seen Bobby Charlton. Let's just do Premier League years. So I'll go Roy Keane, and closely followed by Scholesy, but I will go Roy Keane. And my favourite striker, I think it's got to be Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And that takes a lot for you to not go with Dwight York.
I love Dwight York. Yeah, love Dwight York. Right,
I'll do a thing.
Okay. Hope you've all enjoyed that show. If you have, please tell all your friends. Please subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, don't tell anybody. Keep stum.